Hello everyone and welcome to the finale and air poll for the third litter of the Lakeshore Pack. And oh boy, what a time it has been. We almost didn't finish that. I was getting a little bit worried that we wouldn't be able to find food and would start losing some of our pups at the last minute. But fortunately, we did manage to successfully find some food. Mabel almost died in the process, but the pups were able to survive, and the pack goes on for another year. Of course, we do have Mabel here in her permanent -2s to all of her stats, which has been quite the challenge, and it's about to get harder, as I mentioned, assuming the update comes out sometime in the near future. We will be playing her next litter with the injuries available, and so that's going to make things even harder because we're going to have to be even more careful what we hunt. I'm not hunting the beavers anymore. I'm done hunting beavers. I don't know why they have sucked so much these past few episodes, but they have, and I'm sick of it. But we also have Hope. He has -1 strength, but +1 speed, but otherwise fairly neutral stats, a lot more balanced than Mabel's. I mean, I guess Mabel's are balanced, they're just very, very low. And they're pups this time. Unfortunately, we did lose little Birch to illness right at the end, but the others did survive, including the other three who did fall sick. I think it was Acorn, Lion, and Willow all fell sick at different parts of the litter, and they did manage to survive. But let's look at them. So we first of all have Cedar. He has -2 strength and 2 stamina. So he took a little bit after both of his parents. I mean, he got that -2, but he got a +2 to stamina there. So he actually maybe would fare better with the beavers, all things considered, seeing as it's often our stamina that does us in with them. But we also have Acorn, and she has, oh, interesting, -1 strength and -1 health, but +1 stamina and +1 speed, so a little bit more of a runner, it seems like. We also have Lion, who was quite the dramatic pup herself. -1 strength and -1 health, which is really amazing that she did survive her illness then, and +1 stamina and speed as well. So also quite a swift wolf, kind of like the mountain lions she was named after. And possibly that's why she was able to evade the one that tried to snatch her. She ran away real quick after it let go. We also have Soren, who has that kind of timbery coat, +1 strength and +1 stamina, but -2 speed. So he's a bit of a stronger wolf, actually, but not quite as swift. And we also have Willow with 0 strength, 1 stamina, 0 speed, and -1 health. So a little bit weaker in the health department, but she has more endurance. And finally, there is Birch, who has -2 strength, 0 health, 1 stamina, and 1 speed, so not a very strong wolf, but definitely would have been more of a runner. Unfortunately, though, we did lose him to illness right at the end there. But that is the pups. We're going to go ahead and age the survivors up, take a look at them, and if you follow the link in the video description, there will be a link both to a poll and to a sheet where you can get a quick reference for all these pups so that you can see their stats, their coats, and a little bit of info about them very, very quickly if you just want a brief look and something to reference back to. All right, first off, we have Cedar, who actually has an NPC coat. You can see that's not marked anywhere in the list of coats that we have. This one is the variation off of this original black coat, and it's a little bit less brownish in color. He also got the same kind of silvery, well, no, it's not. No, I actually, maybe that comes more from Hope. I think it's kind of a blend of their eyes, maybe, but they kind of blend in with the light around his eyes there. It's very interesting, but a very neat effect. We'll go ahead and listen to his howl as well. And that is his first howl, a little bit of a deeper one. And then for his secondary, that's a little bit of a higher pitched one, not a very super high pitched one, but a little bit. And as for his customizations, he did not roll the radio collar. Now, these don't generate naturally at this time, nothing except for the radio collar. However, if you do have an idea for what his story could entail, and you're a supporter of the channel via Patreon, channel membership on YouTube, or subscribed on Twitch, then you'll have the option to submit those ideas either on the post on Patreon or in the new Discord server, which is now available to all supporters over the age of 13. So if you're interested in that, make sure to check out one of those options. You can support the channel, help make sure that I'm able to keep doing this, and hang out with me and other supporters of the channel and some of the AU crowd in the Discord server. But as for stats, we did see those earlier, -2 strength and +2 stamina, and not too much in his bio right now. Of course, all these pups, however, are going to be Iron Wolves, just like their mother, and that is Cedar. But next up, we have Acorn, and she actually has a scar, it looks like. She got... Is that the same one as Kaya? It's definitely... No, I think that is. I think that's the same coat that Kaya had. Kaya was one of our wolves from the original Legacy that we did way back in 2.7 when we first started out playing WolfQuest on the channel. So that's kind of an interesting one to see pop up again. She also got these kind of darker orangey kind of eyes. They're very pretty, and again, very complement the brown in her fur. But we'll go ahead, we'll also listen to her howls. Ooh, that's also a deeper one. And then for secondary, another pretty deep one. Now, she did not roll the radio collar customization, but as always, if you're a supporter of the channel, you have the chance to weigh in on that on Patreon or on Discord if you so desire to suggest an idea for something that could have happened in her story to give her some of these customizations. As for her stats, we did see those earlier, but here they are again. And as for her story, she did fall ill. She was one of the pups who was sick earlier on in the first bout of illness. However, of course, she did end up recovering. And that is Acorn. Next up we have Lion, and what a fitting coat she got. Oh my goodness, look at that golden fur. That seems to draw more from Hope's side of the family. It's very, very pale. It's this very, very first original coat here right at the top, genetic grade. I haven't actually been noting what the other ones are, but they're visible here and on the quick reference spreadsheet. She also got those kind of brown eyes, a lot like her mom, I think. And so they do complement her fur quite nicely. All these eye colors go so well with the fur. I'm always sitting there going, man, that looks really good together. But to the team's credit, I think they've really done a great job making sure that none of the customizations don't look good. Like most, I don't think I've seen an RNG wolf that is not like had a decent combination of eyes and fur. Like there's nothing where it's like, ooh, that doesn't look good together. They all look pretty nice. So very good job to the team for that. They did a wonderful job. As for her howls, we'll go ahead and listen to those. Kind of an elegant one. And then for her secondary, one's kind of in a similar vein too. Again, no customizations, but as always, if you're a supporter, you can suggest those on the Patreon or in the Discord if you're a member of that. As for her stats, once again, more stamina and speed, but less strength and health. And as for her story, we don't have too much noted down here, but she did have quite the story. She was both one of the pups who fell sick, and while she was sick, she almost got taken by a cougar. However, Maple and Hope managed to fend it off. She also definitely seemed to take note when Birch, her brother, ended up passing away. She seemed kind of upset by that. I mean, I'm sure everybody was, but she was one of the ones who came popping out of the grass to see what had happened. So that is Lion. And next up we have Soren, and he has a genetic gray coat here. It's actually the 832F coat from Hall of Fame. It's a very pretty one. It's one of the DLC ones, the Yellowstone DLC coats here, but it is a very nice looking one. It's got kind of these interesting little white patches all over it, but I think it does suit him. As for his eyes too, they're this really, really bright yellow, kind of like Hope's. He took a lot after Hope, I think. It seems like we'll go ahead and we'll listen to his howls. He actually got the original one way back from the old game. It's cool to see that one popping up again. And then for his secondary... Oh, that's a really high-pitched howl. Wow. So he's got a little bit of a higher voice there. Again, no customizations, no radio collar, but for those of you guys who are supporters, you'll have the chance to suggest those on Patreon or Discord. You guys know the drill. As for his stats, he has some higher strength and higher stamina, but lower speed. So he's a little bit of a stronger wolf, and he does have a good bit of endurance, but he's not all that fast. And not too much in his story right now, but as always, you can check the quick reference for notes about these characters if there's anything notable that that happened that seems worth keeping an eye on from the story. But that is Soren, and last but not least, we have Willow, and I think, is this? No, it's 9F. Oh, I thought maybe it was an NPC code. No, not Spitfire. It's the 9F code. It's got this really pretty modeling on the back and some kind of almost reddish pinkish patches too. They're really neat. Genetic black coat and some kind of darker gray-green eyes. She's a very, very pretty wolf for sure. We'll go ahead. We'll listen to her howls as well. Ooh, that's a really deep one. And then for secondary... That's an even higher pitched one. Wow. Several wolves with very, very high howls in this. She did not get any customizations, either no radio collar, but as always, if you have thoughts on something that could have been a part of her story, you can suggest those on Patreon or in the supporter Discord if you're a member of either of those. And as for stats, +1 stamina, but -1 health. So we did see those earlier. Once again, a little bit more endurance, but not quite so much in the health department. She did fall ill near the end of the litter as well, right at the very end, but she recovered at 4%, which I think was the lowest recovery, like the lowest that a pup's health dropped before they recovered during this litter. And she also was one of those pups that seemed especially heavy hit by Birch's passing, which may well have been because she was sick herself at the time too. She had to have been pretty worried about that, but fortunately she did manage to pull through. So those are the pups from the third litter of the Lakeshore Pack. As always, these guys are all Ironwolves, and we'll be continuing on our Ironwolf Challenge legacy, one of them, whichever one you vote for. I'm not going to assign the individuals challenges, as I noted earlier on. We're going to be just giving challenges specifically to, or not specifically to the wolves, but to whoever carries on the legacy. And you won't hear about what that challenge is just yet. You'll find that out later on. It won't be Ultra Ironwolf, though, because we can't change these guys' stats. It'll be something a little bit different, and hopefully still a fun and potentially pretty intense challenge. But with that, we're going to go ahead and leave this off here, so don't forget to vote in the poll in the video description for which wolf you want to see potentially be the heir from this litter. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. But until then, this is Jay, over and out.